And so we have voices to even asking to review the 1975 Algerian agreement with Iran. And again, the Kurds here is very strong. They put very strong opposition to the 1975 agreement because they look at a conspiracy against the Kurds between Iran to cooperate against the Kurds between Iran and Iraq. So we're going to face, I mean, if this sort of demand, for one reason or another, going to become a policy, I think we're going to have, again, revisiting the 1970s and the 80s problem with the Iraq over the question of border. Definitely we understand Iraq demand for a free, secure access to the sea. And this must be really taken seriously. This is not Saddam Hussein problem. This is the problem of the securing access to the sea. Start in 1940s. And you have different government, different leaders who claim Kuwait, from King Ghazi in 1938, you have Nouri Said, you have Qasim, and you have Saddam Hussein. So the question of Kuwait is we have two questions of relation with Kuwait. The question is some people denying the existence of Kuwait. Some part of the Iraqi society, they say it's a matter of border, not whether we recognize Kuwait or not. And the matter of the question of border related to the free access to the sea. So Iraq could be a major challenge for us in the coming future. The question of Yemen, again, Yemen represents three things for us. I think a revolt in the north on the Saudi's border, al-Houthi. And I know this region very well. I visited even during the revolt. Basically, you can see the seed of another Hezbollah established on the border of Saudi, on the border of the Yemeni-Saudi's border. Absolutely. You have to cross a checkpoint. You have to prove who are you, what's your identity, what you're doing there. And you cannot see government. Absolutely, in a very large part of Yemen, you cannot see government. So the question of Houthi is a major issue for us because it is not a Yemeni issue. Since the engagement, military engagement with Saudi Arabia, become a regional issue. The question of separatist movement in the south of Yemen. Again, you have, you look at two major states in the country, basically established on the principle of unity. United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia. These two countries was basically a mini state or sheikhdom or whatever, and they established. So if we're going to accept the principle of Yemen disintegration, it is it's going to have impact on the whole region. And we don't want to see another Yemen. This is a major problem for us. The question of terrorism. You see, Al-Qaeda basically restructured itself in 2005 on regional principle, not on the state base. And you have the North African Command, which is responsible for Libya, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, and responsible for operation in Southern Europe, Italy, and the other country. And you have Pakistan Afghan Command, which is responsible even for operation in India. And you have the Iraqi Command, which is responsible for Iraq, Syria, and Jordan. Then you have the most important command is the Arabian Peninsula Command, which is established in Yemen after they moved out of Saudi Arabia. And the Yemenis command is not a Yemenis command, is not regional command, is international command. It is taking the activities from the mother organization. And the two attack on United States, the Nigerian guy who tried to attack here in the United States, exploding the plane, and the printer, which is supposed to be sent to United States with time bomb, is all organized in Yemen. So you're talking about the elites of Al-Qaeda now moved to Yemen. And they are really, in our business, they have best bomb makers, best planners. The plan, the attempt on the life of Prince Mohammed bin Naif was brilliant in terms of how they planned it. And the same with the attack on the United States. So Yemen is a major issue for us. And again, our ability to influence the situation in Yemen limited. We cannot do everything in Yemen. The question of Iran. Iran for us is a major two issue in the Iranian policy. First, the nuclear ambition, and second, the interventionist policy. Iran is not a military power. Iran is an intelligence power. They can put their finger in every part of the Arab world, from Hamas to Hezbollah to the Iraqi group they exist everywhere. They are basically operating every part of, and we have no counter policy to that. We don't have intelligence capability, either to work in Iran and put them in defensive, as Saddam Hussein done for years, and we have very limited ability to protect ourselves from the Iranian interventionist policy. Then the question of a nuclear ambition. Okay, I have to cut. Yeah. So the question of Iranian nuclear ambition for us, there's the question of principle. You know, people compare Iran with Israel. Why you accept Israel? Why you accept Pakistan? Why you accept India? You are not accepting a nuclear Iran. For us, the answer is very simple. Iran, a signature to NPT. Iran willingly, voluntarily enter a contract with the international community not to develop a nuclear military capability. Neither Israel, nor India, nor Pakistan is part of this contract. Yes, we don't like Iran, Pakistan, or India, or Israel nuclear. But here we have, not apart from the strategic impact, we're talking about a legal issue here. So Iran, and we believe the decision have been taken in Iran to go military. Whatever the Iranians saying, whatever the Iranians claiming, we don't see any possibility this program have a civilian nature. Ultimately, it have a military objective. And the question is not this: if Iran produce a bomb, it's not going to deter Israel or United States. The Israeli and United, the gap in the capability huge. The Israeli or can basically destroy Iran in 5 seconds. It's going to be the victim is going to be the Gulf state. This is where the intimidation, this is where the pressure is going to be. I will stop here. And
thank you, Mustafa.
I will take a question later.
Well, it's good to be back also in Washington. Actually, for me, this is, academically, this is where it all got started. It was back when I was doing my master's that I took my first course on Arabian Gulf and Arabian politics. And so whatever I say here today is the result of that beginning here back in Washington. But it's certainly good to be back. I maybe want to focus a little bit on the sort of international challenges that we see in the Gulf region. I think from the beginning we have to realize, of course, that the Gulf is fully embedded in the globalized world nowadays. It has always been an extremely penetrated region due to its strategic location, due to the fact that it has the majority of the world's energy resources and reserves, and has always interested outside powers to get involved also in its internal affairs. So in the past, we've seen the world was taken into the Gulf. But I think in the last decade, we've also seen the reverse. And the Gulf has also tried to engage more outside and has tried to link into the broader world and into globalization. And I mean, if anybody has been to Dubai and the way the city has developed over the last 10 years, you see globalization in action right there, with an airport that you can fly into every continent into the world directly, and an airport that serves almost 40 million passengers now. So certainly things that happen outside the Gulf have a direct impact inside the Gulf, and also increasingly vice versa.